Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Jacob Hooper. I'm an algo trader and system developer, and I want to go over in this video the process that took me from manual trading to automation, a very simple idea that revolutionized the way I trade and has been able to scale my trading from double digits to triple digits in returns over the last 2 years. Ever since I started algo trading, my results exploded. So at time of writing, today is the 21st of the 12th. This is my portfolio on Darwin. For you that don't know, Darwin is a way for you to publicly share your trading results to attract investors, investor capital at a larger scale, okay? It's not really a prop firm, quick turnaround. This is building a track record that will last for years and years. Prop firm payouts are kind of a quick turnover. It's not really for longevity, and if you don't want to leave a actual meaningful footprint in the industry, you usually go down the prop firm route. I personally am trying to build something fantastic and great for the future, so I'm going down more the Darwin route. And over the last 5 months, I signed up to Darwin and deposited my funds, and these are just systems that I built in 2025. We've been able to return 160% in just 5 months. So I opened the account in July and I started putting in my algorithms in August, and we've been able to expand this massively beyond what I thought I would. Last year I did 220%. This is actually my track record from 2024 to 2025. I actually transitioned in May and June over to the Darwin process, funneled out of this account and started funding other ventures and other accounts to expand into different portfolios, including an alpha, a beta, so and so, to have more of a professional view on building portfolios within the algorithmic world to get that skill in. But before these losses here, we were up actually 220% on the year, averaging 12%. That was in 2024 to 2025. We are now in 2025. We took off in August and we've done another 160%. So that's nearly 300 to 400% over 2 years, which is absolutely colossal. I never expected to get this that much return in such a short amount of time, and we're going to keep this ball rolling. But they're the results, and we've gone and ranked now. You can have a look at my Darwin. At the time of writing, we're number 7 in the positions. We got allocation of 145,000 euros, while also being funded with about 60,000, I think. So we're number 7 out of a 10,000 participants, which is a huge, huge effort. I'm obviously Hooper. That's my name, Jacob Hooper. So these are my accounts. You can have a look at them. But what I really want to touch on in this video is the fact that my journey from being a manual trader to an automated trader, because I used to manually trade. I've been trading now for about 8 years. I started in 2017 in the early months to now. And there was a process that you have to follow in order to become a profitable trader. And this is the process in the shortest amount of time for a manual trader. And then I want to share the process to an algorithmic trader, or the process that I currently utilize to take me from unprofitable to profitable over and over and over again, finding multiple strategies that I can put into a portfolio. And then I'm able to have massive amounts of profits, because I'm not just trading one manual strategy. I've actually got a handful of strategies all working together alongside each other. So this is the general approach that most of you have followed or gone by if you are a manual trader. And I hope I can share a whole heap of value in this, that it doesn't have to be that way, and there's so many ways to become profitable. Okay, so first and foremost, we start at the very top and we are unprofitable. And these are all the roadblocks to get from unprofitable to profitable. And if one of them's missing, you will not be profitable. Okay. So first and foremost, you're unprofitable and you're looking for a working strategy. So what do? You find others that may be teaching a working strategy, or say that they have a working strategy that you can then utilize and apply yourself. The problem with this, and I can promise you I'm not just trying to bring other traders down, is I've been in 5 or 6 communities before. A lot of systems don't work. And I can say this hand on heart that I know this for a fact because I build them. I build algorithms, okay? Out of about 100 algorithms I build, only about 12 are profitable. Of those 12, I would only take about 5 to 6 to 7 actually to market after a forward test and their metrics actually make sense. Otherwise, majority of systems aren't profitable. First and foremost, it's very hard, tough pill to swallow, but it's the truth. And I had to learn the hard way. You need a working strategy. If you don't have a working strategy, we go back up to the top. And what does that mean? We go from profitable once again to not profitable back up there because we don't have a working strategy. Phase number 2 is we then take our working strategy and we go down to data collection. So then we collect our data. We don't even know at this point. We haven't done the data collection, but we are instantly unprofitable if we don't have a working strategy. We collect the data, which means we go to our charts, we have our spreadsheets, we open it up, we enter in all our trades. We record it the best we can without having any confirmation bias, even with our testing, okay? Which is hard, again, because you want your strategy to work so bad that you convince yourself that, oh, I would have got in then, oh, I would have actually probably held on a little bit longer, and you can skew your actual results to make it look more profitable than it is, okay? If you do your data collection and it's not correct, you follow this path once again, back to unprofitable. If you do your data collection and it just says, no, you're not profitable, you go back to the start again, you're unprofitable. If you do it and you manipulate the data, you go back to the start again, you are unprofitable, okay? But perhaps you've got that 10% strike rate that I was talking about before, the 12% strike rate, that's actually profitable. We go from there to the next stage, which is your routine. Do you have a working routine that makes sense to become profitable? I've traded strategies that were definitely profitable on the backtest. I collected the data the best I can, the most unbiased I can, and I did it over several repeats, over several months. Okay, it took me about 8 months collecting all this data. The system worked. My routine couldn't uphold with it. You had to check the market every single hour in order to execute every single trade. If you forget a trade or you miss a trade, you may take 4 or 5 losses in a row, and that one trade might make up for all those losses. If you miss that one profitable trade, you may reset back all the way again to another string of losses and take another 5 losses in a row. That's random distribution. If you don't have a routine that will work for that particular strategy, or you're not feeling well just on that day, your routine doesn't work for that day and you miss those trades, too bad, buddy. We go back to the unprofitable route. You can be off for a whole month. Your whole month of the routine could be out. You're unprofitable once again. And this is what a lot of people don't talk about. They go strategy, psychology. Yes, they play a part, but there's so many more levels to it than that. So many more levels that no one actually considers. They just go, you need to have good psychology. Something that you can't teach someone, good psychology. You can't teach it. They don't talk about routine. They don't talk about working strategy because apparently all the strategies just work, right? They don't really talk about data collection that much either. We move down to the next roadblock, which is conducive market conditions. What does this mean? You can have a working strategy that works 10 years in a row and on the 11th year it doesn't work. Okay, that's just normal. That's completely normal. I know this. I build algorithms. Some algorithms will work really well for 10 years. You put them on and they don't work. And it has nothing to do with that strategy. It's just the market conditions, the regime at the time just doesn't work for that one particular strategy. So if you're only trading one strategy, you're going to come into issues like that. I've been in communities where the strategy worked really well for the previous 5 years. The year everyone was in it, everyone banked huge profits. The following year, it actually went negative. 12 months of negative months. Could you imagine that? It's hard to hold faith within a strategy when you have these losing cycles, okay? Very hard. So the key is you need to have more than one strategy and you need to get in timed right to trade that strategy at the right time without having losing months, or you're going to lose. And if you don't have conducive market conditions for that strategy, guess what? We go back to unprofitable land, meaning you're no longer profitable once again. So you've got to then work through this process once again. And it's an extremely frustrating process. I've been there. I've done this. I know how it is. Then we move on to the one that everyone does talk about, but they miss all these 1, 2, 3, 4 prior steps before we get into it, which is the psychology. So what happens if you're fighting with your girlfriend at the time? You're probably not going to be switched on to the markets. You may be working late. You might be working different shifts. You might have had a big weekend. Your psychology might be off, and you can't be 100% great psychology all the time. No one can. Okay, you're going to have off days, weeks, and months. That can play a massive hindrance on your trading. You are not a robot. You cannot hold this fantastic psychology all the time. Some hold it better than others. It also means killing a part of you to make you so unemotional in everything in life just to get good at manual trading. And I know this because I've gone through that process before of not letting anything phase you in any way, and you can become some kind of robot machine that isn't a whole lot of fun to be around. So if your psychology isn't switched on 100% to trading, you have an off day, an off week, an off 1 month, guess what? You go back to the start and you're unprofitable. So what happens if you can somehow magically align every one of these stars? Well, congratulations, you have got the green tick of approval and you are now profitable. So you've got to hold that up over months and months to then actually become profitable. But congratulations, you're now profitable. This is huge, and this is going to be really, really key, is let's see the shift from automated trader to profitability and the steps that it takes, okay? And it may blow your mind, and you may want to switch how you're starting to do things and the mechanics behind. Maybe there's an easier way, because I promise you there is. I've been trading now from 2017 all the way to now. I've never been more profitable in my life. I've never been so stress-free in my life. It's the easiest thing I've ever stumbled on in my life. I promise you that. And that is the simple process to becoming profitable. Okay, as an algo trader, we are unprofitable. The second step is we need to find a working strategy proven, backed by data, that can be traded without bias, that actually has metrics we can follow, like good drawdown, good profit factor, good strike rate compared to risk to reward, good management styles, flawless entry. We don't need to talk about psychology, routine, or anything like that, because it's not involved in algo trading. You just find a working strategy, okay? We actually provide this. Like, I provide several working strategies. I'm not trying to sell you anything right now, but we do provide several working strategies so that you can be instantly profitable straight away. If you want to go down the right route of building strategies yourself, we teach this. I teach people how to build working strategies, and you're getting it from someone that obviously is extremely profitable, and you will get some of the strategies from the portfolio. It's within the curriculum. As I said, I love sharing information with people. I have no issue with that. There's hundreds of strategies out there, thousands of strategies, millions of strategies, and I'll find each and every one. We continue to build. Working strategy is what we need to find. That's the target. That's the aim. We find a working strategy. We test it. We know it's working. What happens after that? We follow this path here, and we are straight to profitable. Once you have a working strategy, you are profitable. If I have a working algorithm, I give you the working algorithm, you are now profitable. That's how it works. And I know this works because I've done it with several people before, and people can't believe their minds. They go, I just can't trust it. And I'm like, you've gotten 3% return this month. You've never done that before. You're profitable. Okay, you've done it 3 months in a row. It's insane. It's life. It literally is life-changing, as I said. Okay, so what happens after we're profitable when we're an algo trader? Well, we take the road right back to X multiplier, because now we're going to multiply our results. We go new strategy creation, because we know how to build algorithms, we know how to test algorithms, new strategy creation, and we stick most of our time in working strategies proven with data. So we're building that strategy, the new strategy, and we're multiplying our results to get crazy portfolios, crazy results. Like if you trade one strategy and you can return 10, 20% per year, which is extremely manageable, you'll become profitable, okay? If you have 5 of those, you can imagine you're getting 100% return a year. For me, for example, in this portfolio, this Darwin portfolio, I have 10 strategies. I've returned 160% in 5 months. We double that, that's 320%. And this is what I'm talking about, the scale of if you have 10 working systems at 10% to 20% per year. Some are going to perform better, some are going to perform worse, but the way of scaling it is astronomical. Okay, the only issues that I'm running into now is I don't have enough leverage, okay? And that's a good problem to have. okay? Because now we can start to diversify between two portfolios, bring down some risk, bring down our drawdown also, and start to diversify a lot more between different asset classes, have different portfolios, different accounts, and everything like that. So it's a good problem to have. So if you are looking to get into trading in 2026, please do consider skipping the manual route and just doing automation. If you want to learn more about automation, then definitely subscribe to the channel, and I'll be giving out a lot more tips and tricks on how you can actually automate your strategies without doing a single line of code. If you want to learn from me or get in touch with me, leave me a comment. I'll respond to them all personally, and I hope to see you in the markets in 2026. Appreciate you watching. Oh, like and subscribe, please.